Then Darren played 3 years at the U of A. So every year we would have this banquet, and we would have the U of A Player of the Year. Well, guess who happened to be the Player of the Year? Let's show a couple more, Anita. This is when Darren comes back. There's Damian Williams. Remember Damian, receiver out of Springdale? That's look at so Darren's getting a little bit older. Let's go to the next one. This is him coming back. That's another one. That's with Wally. That's probably maybe your sophomore year. And then I think we got the last one here. This is you, Felix, and Peyton all together. So that's and I think we got one other that's from that same year. But it's just fun to be able to watch you be able to grow up and sort of do your thing here with the Touchdown Club.
It's a great feeling. It's funny going back to that picture there. You see with me, Peyton, and Felix on there. We did a sign together last weekend. That was probably the first time we had all been together since we were in school. So it was fun catching up with those guys. And like I say, anytime I can come back to the Little Rock Touchdown Club, man, like I say, it's people who've been following me here since I was in high school. Some of you, I probably went to school with some of your children, maybe even grandkids. But it's always a great feeling just coming back here, being able to see people that I hadn't seen in years. I ran into my old Dr. Jack Vandenshield over there, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get that in just a second.
He's a guy that he means a whole lot to me, man, and just thankful for the people of the state of Arkansas and for the support that you guys have given me over the years. I feel like I hadn't changed much over the years. I lost a little hair up top, grew my beard a little bit, and I probably say a few more words on the mic versus when I did in high school. I probably do an interview and I would give one-word answers and, just be short and to the point pretty much.
I just remember we would give away these big plaques, and about that third year coming back, I said, you basically have wallpapered your wall with these giant plaques that we've given you. And then we finally got you back as a speaker. Looking back, I think this was 2015. This is when this was the first time we brought you back just to show you. So, again, this is Darren McFadden over the years with the Touchdown Club. Hair's starting to go. And then, of course, we had you, I think, 4 or 5 years ago, and then, of course, today. And I did want to say, just you went ahead and mentioned Dr. Vandershilden. Many of you may not remember, but you had an incident. I think it was down in the River Market, wasn't it? Or where was it, downtown? Or no?
Central area, a little.
So you got to a fight. You got to a fight defending your brother, though, basically, right?
Yeah, it was. So it was long story short. 18-year-old kid hanging out. I wasn't supposed to be drinking. I was drinking. We having fun. I always learned. I remember Coach Nutt would always tell us nothing good goes on after 10, 11 o'clock at night and being out. And this was the time. It was probably 3 or 4 in the morning. I should have been at home getting some rest, getting ready to report to camp. Well, it was a Friday night. We had to report to camp on Monday. It was so I say Friday night, so it was a Friday night going into Saturday morning, and we had an altercation, and ended up basically I had to open dislocation on my toe, and I didn't know what to expect from it. I didn't know how I was going to heal up from it, anything. But like I say, Dr. Vandenshield, man, he put a pin in my toe, got me back right. I had a pin in there for 5-6 weeks straight, and
Did you miss any games with it?
I missed the entire training camp, and so my entire training camp, and that was the worst part for me. The type of guy that I am, I want to be out there with the guys that I'm running with and being able to work with in blood, sweat, and tears. And so we had just got the new weight room pretty much. So my 5 weeks of training camp was spent in the weight room on the elliptical, looking out over the field, seeing all the guys out there working in the middle of the summer, and there would be days, it was hard for me. I would just have tears in my eyes just watching those guys out there, just thinking about how bad of the mistake that I had made, just being selfish as a kid, hanging out late, got all these people counting on me. And I think one of the biggest things for me with that situation was having to watch my teammates do all the work in the summertime without me, and then when we getting ready for the game, I think we opened, I forget who we opened with that year, but it came like the week before the game. Coach Nutt put on a highlight tape, and it was a highlight tape, and I wasn't in the highlight tape, and that right there, it really set on me because I see what he was doing. He was letting people know that we have other guys on this team that are capable of going out here and doing things, and not having me in the highlights and showing me in there to have people hopes go up and then go down if I'm not able to play, but. I'm very thankful for Dr. Jack Vandenshield. I'm thankful for the state of Arkansas, and you know, it's just a great opportunity to be back here and, you know, to be a mature man now and not just a little kid anymore. But I'm very thankful for you guys and I appreciate you guys.
Dude, let's get over Jack Vandershill. Jack, stand on up there. With UAMS. He's a team doctor for the Razorbacks for many, many years and well respected. And yeah, your toe was hanging off. And I remember when that happened. And I was like, oh my gosh. I remember thinking, are you kidding me? This was, you know, before camp. We were worried about you playing. Of course, your toe, Jack took care of you. And you ended up obviously having some great years at U of A. You know, we had Houston Nutt here with Jimmy Johnson not long ago. Houston hadn't changed much. He still got that juice to get him fired up. This clip, there was a little clip of it. And I've heard people say this is the greatest post-game interview ever done. So it's 1:30, and let's just put it in perspective. Coach Nutt was on the hot seat. He was on the hot seat. A lot of people thought he was going to get fired. Nobody gave you guys a chance to win. LSU was #1, getting ready to maybe play for a national championship. I don't know what the spread was, but I'm sure it was gigantic. Also, I think at the time, I think it was Les Miles had said Arkansas instead of Kansas. And then also Mark May and Lou Holtz, our buddy Mark May, who will be here at some point, had not been giving much talk about DMAC in the Heisman race. So we pulled the upset. There's also this baseball bat that Dean Weber had gotten for the players. That's a story in itself. And so the rest is history. Let's just go from the start of this, Anita, if we can, to the end of this, and we'll come back and hit it on the backside.
Coach, you come into Baton Rouge and you knock off the #1 team in the country. How did you do it tonight?
I don't know. I tell you what, I know this. Got a lot of guys with some big hearts. All I know is for 3 hours. For 3 hours or however long, maybe 4 hours, we're the best team in the country today. And it's offense, defense, and special teams. It's some guys like Darren McFadden, baby. What an effort. Y'all better put him in the Heisman. You better put him up there. I'm tired of him being number 3, number 4.
We got that wood right here, baby.
Somebody better look at this guy. He's the best football player in the country. And his name's not being mentioned. Lou Holtz, Mark May. Number 5, you better look at him a little closer. He's a football player.
Got that wood right here.
Darren, did you win this one for your coach?
It was just a great feeling to come out here playing the #1 team in the nation. And you know, our coach, you know, he's been through some ups and downs this whole season, you know, and it's just a great feeling to win for him. I got that wood, and that's how you pronounce it. Arkansas. It's Arkansas, baby.
How about with the talk and the speculation of whether Houston Nutt will be back next year? Talk about that and how much you guys wanted this one for him.
You know, we just come down here playing game. You know, I know it's been a while since we beat LSU. You know, no, it's just a great feeling to go out there and beat them.
Coach talked about the Heisman. Do you think you deserve to go to New York and win the award?
Hey, numbers speak for themselves, so that's all I can say.
Go enjoy the victory.
Thank you.
How about that? Listen, I don't know where that bat is that you were holding, but it's worth a lot of money if anybody could ever find it. Yeah, that was just sort of a crazy story how the bat was just, that was not supposed to be what it turned out to be, but it did for that night, wasn't it?
So we, Coach Nutt, he like to say, Coach Nutt is a great motivator, give you great speeches. He did this thing. We have our 48-hour meetings 48 hours before the game. You know, we would always have a meeting. And he bought out these little bats. You know, he had Dean Weber do his thing. He'd go in the closet and bring them out, made a big scene out of it. But, you know, and so it was going into, I think we were playing Mississippi State. It was like the last 4 games, but it was all 4 conference games. I think we were going to Mississippi State. We had, we had LSU on there. And whatever 14, I forget what 14s we had. But, you know, that was one of the things that's just bringing the wood. And, you know, so that's what those little bats symbolized, was bringing the wood. And, you know, leading up into that week, I seen a Les Miles interview where he was basically disrespected Arkansas, called us Arkansas, and you know, me being an Arkansas kid in the way that I love Arkansas and represent the state of Arkansas, if I had an opportunity to say something about that, I couldn't just let that slide. You know, I had a great opportunity to go out there and say something about it after the game, and being around Coach Nutt, he's a guy that I love, man. To this day, I still talk to him to this day, and so when I seen him doing this interview, you know, I just know how much he means to me, and so just being able to go over there, and I didn't know what the interview was going to turn into. I didn't know what it was. I just wanted to go up and, you know, tell Coach Nutt, congrats, man, and I love you, Coach, pretty much, you know, and turn into something else, turn into
that's
pretty
a classic
much an all-time
moment.
classic video
moment,
for sure.
Man. That's great TV. So speaking of the Heismans, you know, you're obviously the only 2-time runner. I think there have been two-time runners-up in the history of the Heisman. I just blank on who the other one was, but Thank you, AB. Andrew Luck, thank you. So you did something very unique. Do you look back, the word is that Steve Spurrier did not choose to vote for you. Of course, Tim Tebow was one of the guys that beat you. What's your thoughts now looking back at those Heisman votes? Do you think, man, that I really got robbed on that thing, or are you comfortable with this moving on and that you're happy to get what you got?
Bass, I'm one of those guys. It's water under the bridge for me, man. It's nothing I can do about it. I feel like I did everything leading up until that point to win a Heisman, and after that it was up to the voters and everybody. So I feel like I did everything. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to have a Heisman in my trophy case. Now, I would love to have that right there. But it's something. It's the past for me. I try not to think about it much. When I'm out, people talk about it. I give my honest opinion. I feel like that I definitely should have won a Heisman one year. And so it's just one of those things. It's just water under the bridge for me, pretty much.
So no Heisman, but two-time Heisman runner-up, one of the greatest in history. Not just in Arkansas. You're a two-time Heisman runner-up. You're one of the greatest to play in college football history. Let's fast forward. Here you are. The chatter has been around for years now about retiring the jersey or putting up a statue rather. I've been to every SEC stadium multiple times as part of my coverage for the Buzz and KATV Channel 7, and I see all the other statues, and they are Heisman, and some of them are Heisman, some of them are coaches that have won national championship. But I also know it's about marketing, about promoting the players that have been great for your program, which I love. The more, the merrier. This year, the U of A has decided to come out and not retire your jersey, but do a patch. And I think we've got it number 16, Anita. Let's take a look. This is the patch that €100 check. And Sam Pittman announced they called you and said, this is what we want to do. We're not going to retire the 5, but whoever wears 5 has to wear that. And if you would, go to number 17. This is the actual, see the stride there? That's based on an actual photo of you, which I think is cool, sort of like the Jordan, logo. So I know you're a very humble guy. And first of all, just talk about your reaction to getting the patch that every player who wears 5 has to wear.
I had to say it's an awesome feeling. First, I didn't expect to have a patch put on a jersey to honor me or anything. I don't know if some of you guys may have seen the Hog Plus podcast that I did when they were telling me about it. There was genuine tears from me. I'm not an emotional guy or anything like that, but it was definitely a great feeling because it's just pretty much I was looking to do an interview on a Tuesday with who did I have on there? Quinn and Sawyer. With those guys, I had looking to do an interview with those guys, and they said they had a surprise for me. And I didn't know what the surprise was. I didn't know what to expect, and then I see Coach Pittman and Hunter Yurchek pop up on there, and they were telling me about the patch, and I had to tell them I'm thankful for it. A lot of people, I wouldn't mind seeing my jersey retired. I can't lie about that right there. It'd be great to see it retired, but having that patch and having that DM on that number 5 jersey, it keeps my name in the conversation when people see a number 5 jersey for the University of Arkansas. You can't see a number 5 jersey and not think about Darren McFadden out there in number 5. And so I think it's a way to just keep my name alive and just keep it going.
Yeah, I got to be honest. Listen, you got like multiple. You got 2 number 5s on the team. I think you got a freshman receiver, and I think you got a defensive lineman. I think is it Cam Ball. Listen, I don't know. Call me old school, but I think 5 should be a running back number. 5 should be a running back. It should be 1, not 2. And you're very kind to say that, but I think 2. Listen, I'm glad they did the patch. That's good that they did the patch, right? But you know what? You can go from the patch to retiring the jersey too, right? It could come in time. It could come in time.
And I think with all due time, it will come. Like I said, I'm not the person to go out there and press anything. I got people who do that for me and everything. Good buddy of mine, he does that really well. But I'm not the guy to make a big scene out of anything. Like I said, I'm thankful for the fact that they did put the patch on the jersey. And like I said, I'm genuinely happy about that right there.
And I would say too, they're going to do that for the A&M game, which would be cool. And I do think, regardless of the patch or retirement of the jersey, if you've been to an SEC stadium, other stadiums, they have giant murals and photos of the great players. You go inside Auburn, you see Bo Jackson, you see Cam Newton. Your picture should be somewhere. Your number should be somewhere. There should be a statue out there. And now listen, I know we've got money that we've got to raise for the kids. I get for the NIL, I get that. But I'm just telling you, from a marketing standpoint, they're missing out of young players getting up to see, hey, Dad, is that Darren McFadden? And so I just hope that we'll have Hunter this next week. We'll have Hunter next week. He's not going to like it.
Put in a good word.
He's not going to like my line of questioning, but we're gonna bring it up. But you're very humble in your talk about that. In addition to Houston Nutt, another coach that's popped up on the national scene after being a little below the radar is a guy you played, number 15, Anita, if you would. This guy has come out of nowhere, and look at there. Gus Malzahn now has got Florida State from not even ranked to like number 10 in the nation. And he said, I talked to him the other day, he said, it's a lot easier being assistant coach. He gets to go home a lot easier. What are your memories about Gus in that 1 year? It feels like he coached up there for about 5 years. There was so much drama and all that. But the 1 year that y'all were together, it was pretty dynamic.
I feel like we had a great year that year. We were able to throw in the Wildcat in there. It's a funny story about this. So Danny Nutt was the running back coach at the time, but he recruited me in high school, and so he and Bobby Allen, they would come and watch me play, and so Bobby Allen wanted me to play safety for him. Danny Nutt wanted me to play running back, and so anyway, we Danny Nutt knew that I could play running back. I played quarterback. I played receiver, safety, everything in high school, and so he had the confidence in me to be able to go back there and run the Wildcat. So he pretty much pitched the idea. And I guess I'd say the meeting of the three minds with him and Coach Nutt and Coach Malzahn all came together, and they came out of their lab and they came out with this Wildcat formation and this group of plays, man. And it was just it was an awesome formation for college football that still lives on to this day.
Yeah, so there has been a fight about credit for who gets that, and so you don't want to stay claiming that, right? You want to stay out of that?
No, I give my credit to D Nutt, man, because
okay.
D Nutt is the guy that, like I say, he come watch me in high school. He knew that I was a quarterback. He knew everything that I did, and he pretty much pitched it to Coach Nutt, and Coach Malzahn came with plays, and we put it together.
Don't you think that made a difference in your Heisman campaign too? You were doing things that nobody else was doing. No, the running back was lining up. I mean, we see it's a normal thing now, but at the time it was not.
I think it was a big difference, and I think that's one thing that set me apart from a lot of guys. It wasn't just lining up back there and catching the snap and running. I actually had to send guys in motion. I had to look at the defense. If we had a pass play call, I had to be able to read the tight end popper to know if I was going to throw the popper, decide to keep it and run it or not. So it was a lot that went on to it. It wasn't just a running back getting back there and running the ball or anything like that. I was a quarterback. I felt like I was living my high school dreams again.
Well, didn't you make? I may be wrong on this. The game against Florida in the SEC championship, I think you lined up at quarterback and you saw Felix lined up. What was it? Remember that play?
Yeah, so we always had this thing where we work uncover anyway. So if a guy ever lined up, no matter who it was, we just look at each other, make sure you give them the signal, and you get the signal back. And so we line up down there. We're probably on the 7 or 8 yard line, and I look out there and nobody's over the top of Felix, and I'm like, oh, this got to be a mistake. And I look again, and I hurry up and he did it back, and I just got the ball and just hurry up. And I don't even think I grabbed the laces or anything. I was just trying to get it to him as quick as I could just to get it off before somebody got over the top of him.
Yeah, those were exciting times and very unique, and don't see as much of the Wildcat or Wild Hog as we used to. Let me ask you about today's game, Darren. A lot of money being thrown around, millions. And so from your perspective, what do you think about the game today with transfer portal multiple times? Of course, they're trying to tighten that up a little bit, and the money that's flowing through universities now, athletic departments going to the players.
My number one thing is with the transfer portal, I hate how guys can go from one school to the next year after year. I hate that with a passion right there. I like how it was the old school way. You transfer, you sit out for a year, or if you go to a smaller division, you're able to play. I like that style of playing. I'm thankful for the kids being able to get paid off their NIL deals and everything, but I feel like it has to be a cap on it somewhere along the way, man. It's just crazy. I was talking to my guy Casey Dick last week, and I was telling him when we were in school, if they had NIL and somebody would offer us 20,000, we would be ecstatic, man. And so to see these kids getting 6 figures, man, that's just crazy.
You know, over the years, we've had different speakers that have come in here, like Barry Switzer and others, and the statute of limitations is up now for you. So, did you ever get anything when you were playing? Listen, I don't know. I was trying to think who it was that I don't know if we had them on the air or here at the Touchdown Club, but everybody feels a little bit easier about talking about it now because everybody's getting paid. Maybe it was Eric Dickerson last year. I can't remember. But what about you?
This is what I tell people, man. Growing up in Arkansas, I was an Arkansas Razorback from the day I was offered. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. They didn't have to pay me or anything like that. So I wasn't one of those recruits that was getting motivated by money or anything. I committed as a junior in high school. I never wavered from my commitment. I was going to be a Hog regardless. And, you know, like I say, well, whether it was money involved or not, I was going to be a Razorback.
Had a gigantic game this weekend. History was made. Arkansas State at War Memorial. I know you got some great memories of games at War Memorial. How do you feel about of Arkansas? You know, they got the big, nice stadium. They make more money up there. You can't bring recruits down here. Where do you stand on games in Little Rock?
I'm a Little Rock kid, man. Come on, man. I like to be able to see the Hogs come down here and play, man. I know that game means a lot to people in the southern part of the state. A lot of people don't get to make it up there to Fayetteville area, so I think it's kind of the same thing. You had a big, nice stadium and everything up there, but you know, everybody in the southern part of the state, they don't get to see those amenities and things like that on a weekly basis. So being able to have that Razorback game here, whether it's just one game a year, 2 games a year. You know, I think it's a great feeling. I would love to see that game continue to go on because I think, like I say, it's great for the southern part of the state. You know, for the people who can't make it up there. You know, the people who are getting off coming out of the bean fields and things in the evening. The hardworking blue collar guys that don't make it up to Fayetteville. And so I'd love to see that game here.
A couple years ago, we were doing the radio show, and I looked online before the show started. I think, Roger, we were in Sheridan. And I saw your Facebook post about, hey, I just want to let everybody know that I have not had a drink in 6 weeks. I was like,
6 months then.
Oh, is that what it was? It was 6 months? It was 6 months, 6 months, yeah. 6 months. I was like, wow, this is not something you'd shared. And so I asked if you would come on the radio. You were a regular guest of ours, and you said, yeah. And that started this journey that you've had now of sobriety. How are things going, and how has your life been impacted by your decision to be sober?
It's been great for me. I tell people my last drink of alcohol was 5/18/23, and so I've been sober for 2 years now. Thank you. I tell people it's probably one of the best decisions I've made in my life. I've racked up a ton of accolades over the years playing football, and you know, that alcohol is something else, man. Just to be able to shake that off of my back, man, and just to be able to be sober and be sitting here and not like LT the other week having to need a drink to sit up here, man. It's just a great feeling. I think it means it makes me proud of myself, man. It means a lot to me and my family, my children, just to have a sober dad in the house every day. Not being I was always around, but it just, you know, well, for me anyway, when I was drinking, you know, it just, my mind was wherever it wanted to be when I was drinking. And just to be able to be sober and be present, man, it's a great feeling, and I'm very thankful for that.